Hey there, YouTube. It's Matt Fairclough. I'm here with my good friend Kevin Carroll. What's up, man? How are you?
Good.
So, Kevin has been on the BiggerPockets podcast, and I've gotten to know Kevin a bit in this seminar that I'm at. And one thing that I'd like to put out there that just to ask and have a conversation with YouTube about, which is super interesting. In 2016, right? You did how many fix and flips?
In about 18 months, we did 83.
83 fix and flips in 18 months. That's by far more than, and I've heard of companies doing fix and flips but not hitting that number, right? So extremely interesting. I'd love to put out there to the folks on YouTube, maybe they don't want to do 83, but first of all, how'd you do it? And then I want to talk about like some of the logistics and systemization of fix and flips that I'm sure you had to have done to get it to that, right? So tell us the story.
So what I realized, I own a real estate office in Boise, Idaho, and I realized that I couldn't do that many in my own town. And so I had to look outside of my little town. And so I looked 200 miles north, and then I was like, well, I have friends in Chicago, and I have friends here and there and everywhere. And so I built this little flipping system, and I sold it to my friends, and I gathered a bunch of cash, and then I said, well, I have the money, and here's a system that we can use, so go find some deals, and let's do these together. And we partnered, and we did one, we tried it, and then now I have a dozen going with a couple of different guys, and it enabled me to scale from my town without ever having to see most of these properties because it's all just data driven from, so what we did was I need to pretend like I'm an asset manager. So I work with a lot of
I want to highlight one thing that I heard first of all that I think that everybody needs to take this home. First of all, to you guys on YouTube, you guys know A-level people that are playing in different marketplaces than you are, right? So what Kevin did was he reached out to his network and saw that he's got people that he trusts and likes, that personal friends or people that you know through business relationships that are in other cities, markets that are high, right? That you're not close to in Boise, Idaho, but like what are some markets that you're in? Chicago.
There's 3 areas of Florida, like Orlando, Jacksonville, Tampa.
So a note for you guys to take home is, who do you know that lives, that you like and trust in areas that you want to get into and form a strategic alliance with them, right? And that's lesson number one, right?
And the thing was, like, there wasn't enough deals. Like I could do it there, but I could only do 4 or 5 a year. I just couldn't find them. And so I had to break my traditional thinking of being an agent and start thinking like an investor. And then my whole mind shift changed. So, and I think about these guys as partners. Yeah. So, I run a REO business back in Boise, and so I started to think like an asset manager. So now I have assets in other cities, and so I always said well, I've sold about 1,000 bank-owned properties. Well, what would an asset manager do? And so then I just asked myself that question, and then we kind of went with that model. And then I fixed some of the things that the asset managers, I think, could be improved upon. And, they have certain rules, and they can only spend so much money, and they have to get 3 bids, and I'm all about speed, so I fixed some of that inconsistencies. Yeah. Tell us more about, because there's got to be absolute predictable systemization for every one of those flips that you're on, right? Or you'll have 83 different nightmares going on, right? Yeah. So tell us more about the systemization of those flips that these folks can take. Yeah. The first thing you want to look for is you always want to make money. You're gonna have to buy it right. So so that's huge. So we have a spreadsheet, right? And it's just a really simple Excel spreadsheet, and it's going to tell you, once you fill in the basic numbers, it's going to tell you if you're going to make money or not. It's very simple. Once you do it a few times, it'll take 5 minutes to analyze the deal. And I'll tell you later where you can go get it for free. I'll share. Kevin will mention his website at the end of this, so you guys can watch at the very end. He's going to mention his website at the end, and you can get a free copy of his spreadsheet. So keep on. So now, so you fill out that sheet, and then we want to see pictures of the house. And if you're brand new with me, I probably want a home inspection. And then I'm going to get a second opinion BPO to verify that after repair value, and then a contractor bid, and you put all those components into that spreadsheet, and it's going to tell you if you make money or not. So then what we do is we take that spreadsheet, and then we execute that plan. And then at the end, we go through and we say, this is what we thought was going to happen, this is what actually happened, how did we do, where do we do good, where do we need improvement, what part could use improvement, or what part was a home run.
Continuous improvement.
Yeah. So every time I do a deal, I get smarter.
Do you make them get multiple bids from general contractors?
No. I want you to use your best contractor that you've used for 10 years. That's going to give you a fair price.
Yeah.
And it's going to do it fast.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I learned that's really key is speed is. I'd rather spend $1,000 more and get it done a week sooner. Because
you'll pay more for speed.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of people out there,
now, listen to this.
They'll go the cheapest contractor. It'll take twice as long.
If you have $1 million of money and you can use that money 3 times, so say you have one deal and you use $100,000 in that deal, and you can use that money 3 times a year. Say you make $10,000 on each deal. Mm-hmm. If you make $10,000 on a deal and you do it 2 times a year, you've made $20,000. Mm-hmm. But if you can use it 3 times a year with that same amount of money, you've made $30,000. Yeah. The amount of return is infinitely bigger. The faster you can turn them, the more times you can use that money in a year, your return goes through the roof.
I think that's another take home here is the velocity of money, and just playing that. Like if you the quicker you can turn money over and over and over again, the more you're going to make, and not by just trying to scrimp and save on everything you can, but just putting it to work quickly and turning it around, getting it again, and going back and forth. Right?
These things are like hot potatoes. The longer you hold them, the more something can go wrong. So the quicker you can get them fixed and sold, the better. For 100 reasons. Pipes break, they flood, someone breaks in, steals the TV. There's 100 reasons why you want to get them moved quicker.
Yeah. And I find the contractors tend to run out of gas and it takes them too long to do a job.
They get burned out, and you've given them most of the money, and so they're not really motivated to sell it. And so, and
cool. So what's next? For you did 83 fix and flips in 18 months. Yeah. So where are we going? We're going to 1,000 now, or what's next for your enterprise?
So we took a lot of risk last year doing those 83. So what we're going to do this year is do less, but hit more home runs. So I'm gonna go into less properties, but I'm gonna do ones that have a really good return. Yeah. And I want ones that are faster.
Are there certain operators that did great and some that didn't do so good? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And there's lots of different components, and you may say a good question would be like, what could go wrong? So hire a contractor, and you give them $10,000 and they don't do anything and never start. So that happened.
Yeah.
One of their partners goes bankrupt, and they call and say like, you gave me money and you can sue me all you want, but I'm bankrupt. Sorry.
Yeah. Have a nice day.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So hire another. So like the key for somebody that's listening to this is you got to find good subs that know what they're doing, and they've done this a lot of times. And then what you got to do is get on the schedule and hold them accountable to that schedule, because things get delayed all the time. And so we're working on a way to compensate them for doing an excellent job quicker. Yeah. And maybe penalizing them for being late.
I've heard people doing that. I've heard people putting that in the contract.
Yeah.
About like reward, penalties and rewards.
Yeah, and I'd rather have the reward there as well. Like I'm not there to beat those guys up. I want them to do a good job. Yeah. But I want them to be realistic about their expectations and then follow through.
Yeah. So cool. So little less flips, but more home runs.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Less leverage. Yeah. So the hard money that we used was really expensive. And if you look at all the fees involved, if you buy a house with cash versus if you ever look at like a settlement statement from a title company and you bought a house with cash and you bought one with leverage, it's thousands more with leverage for all these different reasons. So more cash deals, and maybe a way to
So a lot of the folks that are watching are probably going to go with leverage coming in. But you're saying that, like, I think that a mistake a lot of flippers make is they're not squirreling away some of the cash every time they do a flip, right? Yeah. And to start getting that snowball of cash so they can start doing flips with cash as they grow, right? Would you agree with that? Because again, a lot of folks are going to have to take on some sort of debt when they first get started, right?
Yeah, and you may like, what's the cheapest debt you can have? Do you have a line of credit on your house? That's super cheap money. Yeah. We did that with one of the ones in Boise, and we held it. It was a wholesale. We sold it in a week and made $28,000 in a week. And that was a home run. We didn't have to touch it.
That's great.
So that, there was only one like that, but what can you do to, that's a pretty safe in and out, and you're risking your house, but you're doing it for a very calculated risk and very safe.
It's calculated risk, though.
Yeah, and
it is risk, but
how can you not sign personally? Credit cards are non-signature debt.
Yeah.
So can you buy all your stuff from Home Depot on a Home Depot card? Or, and credit card companies now are just giving away money.
There's 0 interest credit cards now.
Yeah, I mean, there's I called mine and said I need you to increase the limit $20,000. I said done.
Yeah, not that that's something that you guys should do forever.
No.
0 interest credit cards or something like that, but it's a great way to get started.
If it's a flip and it's an in and out and a calculated risk,
it's a good way to get started too.
Yeah,
right?
It's cheaper than hard money.
And don't burn through all the money you make on the fix and flip. Take part of it, as Kevin's saying, and start building up those cash coffers. So eventually you can be your own bank. That's where the real power of
that's
leverage
the goal. Because when you close with cash, you can close in 2 days once you get good.
Yep.
So that speeds up your time of money. If it takes 45 days to buy, you've got that money allocated already in that, and then started. And then you wait to purchase, and then you fix, and then you hold, and then you sell, and then you have to really wait till you sell to be able to try to find the next deal. So there's always a lag time in the front and the back of that. And I looked at this whole sales cycle and said, how can I tighten down every component of that?
Yeah.
So I can flip 3 times a year instead of 2.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing, is looking more, from Boise. What can I do to help my partners on the ground find cheaper money, do things quicker, and anticipate the next
Increase
move.
that velocity.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest inspiration to take home, guys, is the velocity that you can do in this business and how much velocity helps in moving things around. So,
and there's deals everywhere. So don't be afraid to ask questions and look for help.
Yeah.
There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of flips. I'm not giving you guys my secret sauce.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid about it. I want to teach everybody and help everybody.
So BiggerPockets.com, you got to learn. Go to BiggerPockets and learn about that kind of stuff. But if they want to learn more about you and hear more about what Kevin Carroll's up to, or connect with your company, maybe they want to reach out to you about some sort of partnership or something like that, or get some of the resources you have. How do they hear about you?
So I wrote a book this year, and I talked about.
You guys should check this book out. It's a great book.
I wrote this book, Journey to Financial Independence, and then the website is journeytofinancialindependence.com.
Journeytofinancialindependence.com.
A journey to
financial independence. Write that down, guys. journeytofinancialindependence.com, and we will put a link to that website in the description on the YouTube video.
So it is $20 on Amazon. So I wanted to make it affordable so people could get it, and it's got way more detail about the concepts, examples of flips, and then also once you know how to flip a house and you do a few, you need financial independence to be able to get out of this rat race of life, right? Man. So learn how to flip, do these things, and then the second chapter of the book is really about turning that into monthly passive income, because that's how you get out of the rat race of life.
Absolutely.
You don't have to have $10 million in the bank. You need $10,000 a month to live. Whatever your number is.
I call it capital gains, and then also doing things for cash flow. Right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, they can go to ajourneytofinancialindependence.com,
so
what you do, and they can get a hold of those.
The free flip sheet.
The free flip sheet.
Yeah. So analyze the deals. It's real simple to use. And then you're going to know, once you look at your deal and you put your numbers in, it'll tell you if you're going to make money or not. So go on there, get the free sheet, read my book if you're more inspired, and you can reach out to me on there as well. If you find a deal and you just want some advice on it, or you want someone to partner with, I'm happy to help.
Cool. Awesome. Kevin, thank you. Guys, it's been a great interview with Kevin Carroll. Be sure to check out his website. And I appreciate your time, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. Good conversation.
Yep.
And thank you for watching, guys, and have a great, profitable week.